Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please, if you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment and share. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful dress with ruffles. Please, if this is something you're interested in watching, stay tuned to the end of this video. So for this particular dress, I'll be using a crepe fabric for this dress. So now the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to fold my fabric into two. So after folding into two, I'm just going to go ahead to fold it over again because we'll be drafting the front and the back at the same time. So I'm just going to go ahead to fold it over again. So make sure you're properly folding it. So for the fold, to make sure you have enough, use the largest circumference of your body, which is your hips measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch allowance. So in my case it's 44 divided by 4, that's 11, plus 1 inch allowance, that's 12. So you can confirm if you have up to 12. So now I'm just using my tape to see that, okay, if I have up to 12. If not, you're just going to keep on adjusting. And also you need 1 inch for the allowance, so you have to check that also. So now I'm just going to come down by 1 inch and mark 1 inch downward and rule a straight line. So this will serve as my starting point. So for the length of my dress is 34 inches, but I won't mark 34 inches because of the ruffles will complete it. Okay, I'm going to subtract 3 from the 34 inches, which is basically 31 inches. So I'm using 31 inches plus 1 inch for the hemming allowance. I will now mark 32 inches. But if you want yours longer, please, I would advise you use 36 inches for the length, okay, if you want it longer. As you can see from my own video earlier, it was shorter, that's why it's 34 inches. So I advise you make do of 36 inches if you want it longer, okay. So I already marked 32 inches, 31 plus 1 inch for the another 32. Then I mark my waistline measurement, which is 16 inches. Then I'm just going to go ahead to connect the lines like so. Okay, so after marking the waistline measurement, I'm going to go ahead to mark 1 inch for my zip allowance for the back. Mind you, don't forget I'm drafting the front and the back at the same time. Okay, so I'm just marking 1 inch for the zip allowance, and I'm going to go ahead to connect my lines like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my neckline measurement, which is going to be 3 inches by 1 inch, okay, for the back neckline, and for the front neckline is going to be by 3 inches for the front neckline. So then I'm going to take my shoulder divided by 2, that's 7.5. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Then come down by 1 inch. Then I'm just going to go ahead to connect like so. So after doing that, I'm going to take my was divided by 6 plus 1.5. Whatever you have, just mark it, then draw a straight line. So basically, I'm going to transfer my whatever I have on my shoulder here. So I have 7.5. I'm going to mark 7.5 there. I'm just doing that for straight, to get a straight line. Then I'm going to go ahead to mark the midpoint of my armhole line. Then I'll come inward by 3/4 of an inch. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to measure my bust divided by 4. That's 9 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So I'm just going to go ahead to connect using my armhole curve. So now the worst thing I'm going to do is to take my waist measurement divided by 4. That's 30 divided by 4. So I'm marking 7.5. So plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So I actually forgot to add my waist to hips. So I'm putting my waist to hips measurement, which is 8 inches. And I'm just going to go ahead to draw a straight line. So on my hips line, I'm going to go ahead to take my hips divided by 4. That's basically 44 divided by 4. That's 11 inches. So I'll mark 11 inches plus 1 inch for the sewing allowance, okay. So whatever you have on this hips line, go ahead to subtract 1.5, then mark it. Basically mine was 12 minus 1.5, so just mark it, then connect like so, Okay, so if you want more pencil you can do 2, but for me I don't want so pencil. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to connect using my ruler and curve. Okay, also please don't forget, for the neckline you have to use your curve also to connect the front neckline. Okay, and also connect the back neckline. So now I can go ahead to cut it out. Please, while cutting out, please add half-inch allowance on the armhole line, okay, to sew it up, and also on the shoulder add half-inch allowance. Okay, but on the neckline you don't need to add half-inch allowance because I want it a little bit lower, but if you want you can add half-inch allowance. Okay, so now to erase bulges, like I always do, on the waistline I'm going to come in 1 by 1 inch, and I'm going to go ahead to connect it like so. Okay, just connect like so. Basically from that 1 inch you can go 4 inch upwards, 4 inch downwards, then connect like so. You can use your curve to do this instead of a ruler also. I'm just going to go ahead to cut out like so. This helps erase bulges. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead to separate the front piece from the back piece so I can be able to cut out the neckline of the front piece. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead to cut out the neckline of the front piece. So for the sleeve length it's 23 inches, so plus 1 inch allowance, that's 24 inches. Okay, so my sleeve length is 23 inches plus 1 inch allowance, that's 24. So I'm going to go ahead to mark 24 inches. So after marking between my 24 inches, I'm just going to go ahead to use a straight ruler to connect. So now you come down by 3.5 inches. How to get that? Your bust divided by 12 plus 1.5 inches. So whatever you get, just mark it. So I'm taking I took that, then I went ahead to take my shoulder to elbow measurement. Okay, and also to my bicep area. Okay, so just draw a straight line like so. So now the next thing I'm going to do is take down my armhole line measurement, which is 7.5, then connect like so. Okay, and after that I'm going to go ahead to mark the midpoint. Okay, so I'm going to give it like an S shape. Okay, just give it like an S shape. Then after doing this, I'm going to go ahead to take my other measurement for my hand circumference. Okay, just mark whatever you have on your round your elbow divided by 2, round your wrist divided by 2, just mark that. Then I'm going to go ahead to add 1 inch allowance. Okay, or through. Then I'm just going to go ahead to use my straight ruler to connect like so. So mind you, this fabric is folded into 4. Basically we are cutting both sleeve at the same time. Okay, I folded the first time, then folded over again. So basically we are cutting both sleeve at the same time. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to go ahead to cut out the sleeve part. So for your ruffles, I'm using a total length of 120 inches. So another thing you can do is just sew up the sides of the dress first. Okay, then go ahead to measure whatever you have rounded times 3, then you can use that. Okay, but me, I'm using 120 inches long, and on fold I'm using 6.5 inches. So I can advise you can use 8.5 inches if you want yours longer. Okay, wide I mean. Then I'm just going to sew it up by half of an inch or try. I had to join at this point because it wasn't so long. Okay, so I'm using 6.5 inches on fold, basically 3 on the upper part, 3 on the lower part. So for you, you can go ahead to use 8.5, so it's much more wider. I would advise you to do that. So without fold is 13 inches, you get it like that. So now I'm going to go ahead to sew it up on fold by half of an inch. So this is what I have. I already went ahead to press it. Okay, make sure the joining part is in the inner part. Okay, make sure it's in the inner part. The joining part, when ironing it, is in the inner part, it's not showing outside. So on the wrong side, I'm just marking 3 inches, which is basically the middle of my ruffles. Okay, of this straight line, just 3 inches. Mark 3 inches all through. So on this 3 inches line, I'm just going to go ahead to run a gather stitch on it all through. Okay, so I'm going to run a gather stitch on the 3 inches line. So after running my loose stitch, I'm just going to go ahead to create my ruffles. So basically keep on doing this till you have the equivalent of the lower part of your dress after joining. Okay, the equivalent of the lower part of your dress after joining. For example, after joining your dress, if you have on the lower part, if you have 35 inches, this ruffles has to be exactly 35 inches. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So now I already went ahead to join the sides of my dress by 1 inch, okay, and the shoulder also by ½ inch. Okay, so that's just it. Basically I joined the side by 1 inch and the shoulder by ½ inch. Okay, so that was why I demonstrated there with my hand. Also for the sleeve, I already went ahead to aim the lower parts. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead to fold it over like so, then sew it up by 1 inch. So I'm going to do this for both sleeves. Okay, so sew it up by 1 inch. So I'll take to my sewing machine to do that. So now I'm going to go ahead to place my ruffles on the lower part. Don't forget, the ruffles must be equivalent with what you have on the lower part. That was why I advise you join it first before doing your ruffles. Or if you've done your ruffles, it's something you can always adjust till you have the equivalent. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead to pin it. You can just mark ½ inch upward. Okay, then place it. Okay, just place like so, then pin it down. I advise you pin it down if you're a beginner, because if not, you can just keep shifting and you might not be accurate with your joining. So I advise you just place the ruffles, pin it down. As you can see, I'm just using my hand to like smoothen the ruffles, and you can go ahead to iron it first before placing it on your fabric. Okay, so just keep on placing it till you get to the end of the clothes and pin it down. And if you see that it's not enough, you can always loosen up your ruffles a little. Basically adjust it till you get to the end of where you want it to stop, if that makes any sense. So as you can see, I'm adjusting it. So just keep on. So like I said earlier, I would advise you make your ruffles unfold 8.5 inches, 8 inches plus ½ inch for the joining allowance. So it's going to be much more, I mean, a little bit longer. Okay, but because I don't want mine as long, that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead to take to my sewing machine and sew up. So this is what I have after sewing it on my sewing machine. So basically I sewed up at that point. You passed my losing stitch. So now I'm just going to go ahead to attach my sleeve. Okay, I'm just going to attach my sleeve, then sew it up by ½ inch. Make sure it's properly aligned. Okay, so now that I fixed my sleeve, okay, I'm going to go ahead to join the back of the clothes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead to join the back of the clothes. So I'm going to turn it over to the back. So what I forgot to add to this video is that even after putting my ruffles, I went ahead to iron it. Then I tacked I tacked some parts, so it's not like the mouth is not opening, it's not coming down. So I basically tacked some part. I just choose few parts, then tacked it to the clothes with my needle and thread neatly. Okay, you can just tack it, I mean the upper one, just tack it. So I forgot to mention that. Okay, so it's not, the mouth is not coming down, if that makes sense. So now I'm just going to sew it up by 1 inch, then I'm going to go ahead to attach my zip. So that's basically it. So I'm just going to run you through that tack part. If you look at this dress, it's not falling off, it's standing, the ruffles is not falling off. So basically I tacked it down to the cloth. That's why it's standing properly, the mouth is not coming down. So that's just it basically. Okay, so now if you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment and share. See you in the next one. Bye.